Let us pray. Loving God, we ask you to be with us this night and guide our conversation, our time together. We pray for our community, those who live and work here. We pray for peace and safety for all, especially in this community. We pray for those who are hungry and cold this night, that they may be filled. And we ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Introductions. I'm Dorothy Cunningham, Community President.
Madam Fenwick, Vice President.
Cynthia Wagner, Board Member.
Nicholas Blendy, Deputy Executive Secretary, Board of Liquor License Commissioners for Baltimore City.
Matt Ockhammer, Community Liaison with the Liquor Board.
Hi, I'm Donna Webster.
Pamela Presco, Community and Board Member.
Thank you. Hi, Dorva Jones Brownlee, member.
John Mara, Blue Water, Baltimore.
Nas Cook, community member.
Louis Kyle, Board Member.
Winfield Willis, Bull Development.
David Bryant, Bull Development.
Just as we move to the meeting, and when people get to the port asking questions, we ask you maybe come up here to the front and take the microphone. That way people watching on live stream will hear you and see you better.
Okay, so our first guest will be the Liquor Board.
Stand together. Surely we'll hang separately. Ms. Dorothy, we're going to mainly cover the court case and the Frederick Station, right? Excellent. Good evening, everybody. Everybody watching. I'm Matt Ockhammer, Community Liaison with the Liquor Board. For those of you who don't know, the Liquor Board is the 3 board members who will basically decide things like who does and doesn't get a liquor license, following a large set of rules and regulations. I'm here as a community liaison. I'm always happy to take your questions. There is no small question. There's a lot to learn about how different liquor stores operate, how different licenses operate within your community or outside your community. So for those of you watching, for those of you here, my contact information is Matt Ockhammer. That's Achhammer, matt.ockhammer@baltimorecity.gov. Cell phone is 410-241-6525. That's 410-241-6525. You can always call that, you can text that, and I'll make sure you get connected to the information that you need. I'm joined here tonight by our Deputy Executive Secretary, Nick Blendy, who is also the attorney for the agency. And Ms. Dorothy wanted us to specifically talk about 4019 Frederick Road, Frederick Station Saloon. There were some changes based on a court case recently, and that's why Nick is going to talk about those, because he is the expert in that field. Any questions before I begin, or anything that we should cover? Matt Ockhammer, Achhammer. That's okay, Matt Ockhammer, Achhammer. So it looks like ACH Hammer. It's a fun one.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me. Again, thanks to Matt for all his good work. He undersells how difficult the alcoholic beverages article is to understand, and like what liquor board commissioners can and cannot do. That's why I'm here, because as he stated, I'm the Deputy Executive Secretary and the attorney for the agency. So if you have any legal questions, any crazy questions, there are none, because the whole article is very confusing. And I only say that with confidence because our board commissioner or our chair of our commission, who is a retired judge, refers to it as the Alice in Wonderland article of the Maryland Code. So we are here, and thank you, Ms. Dorothy and board members, for inviting us to discuss specifically the issue of Frederick Station Saloon. For the record, my name is Nicholas Blendy. You got me? Nicholas Blendy. Much closer. Bravo Lima Echo November Delta Yankee. That's how you spell my last name. So Frederick Station Saloon was subject to a specific piece of legislation that the 41st delegation passed. When it was enacted, they had hours of operation that were supposed to cease at 9 p.m., among other things. They are currently a Class BD7 TAVR license, which, absent any specific restrictions, allows you to operate from 6 a.m. to 2 a.m. Monday to Sunday. You can sell goods for on or off premises sale, meaning you can sell packaged goods or you can sell to people who drink on premises. The only caveat to that is that you have to always have your tavern open as long as you're selling packaged goods. So General Assembly changes the law, the licensee sues, they sue the board because we're the agency that enforces the legislation whenever the General Assembly passes it. So we go and do our thing. They sue. We get into court. What ended up occurring was the licensee sued. The attorney at that place is not me, nor is it our normal appellate counsel when it's a challenge to the constitutionality of a statute, which is what the licensee brought. Violated Declaration of Rights, violated due process, violated equal protection were the three claims that the licensee's attorney raised. When that happens, the Liquor Board of Baltimore City is represented by the Attorney General of Maryland. At that point, it's the same lawyers that represent the General Assembly, the people who passed the law to change the hours. So lawyers do lawyer things. You know, we do depositions, we do interrogatories, we do all of the pretrial work that lawyers do. 2 of the 3 claims were dismissed. 1 remained. And at that point, it was encouraged and occurred that the parties discussed a resolution that might not involve taking it all the way to a trial and then possible appeals. What ended up happening was on August 16th, a consent order was ordered, meaning that the lawyers for the liquor board, aka the Attorney General, and the lawyers for the licensee agreed that they would stay the litigation, meaning it is paused for, you know, those of us who remember VCRs or DVRs currently, until the following things have the opportunity to occur. And those things are the licensee had agreed they would seek to become a Class A7 license. Currently, I mentioned earlier, they're a BD7. An A7 license is a packaged goods only license. There was, or is an existing statute that allows BD7s to convert their licenses to an A7 if a local council person puts in a resolution to allow that to occur. That actually authorization expired on June 30th, so the expectation would be all the local leaders, the 41st delegation, and now this is entirely, Frederick Avenue is no longer the boundary for the new lines, because there is no 44th in the city, so it's all the 41st delegation here now. So it'd be the local leaders of the 41st delegation, the 8th council member district, Councilmember Burnett, that they would have the opportunity to consider whether they wanted to allow this to occur, to allow Frederick Station to convert their license to an A7. Now I'll just editorialize for a second. Where they have occurred, and Matt can speak based on his experience around the city, where they've occurred in other parts of the city, they've been wildly successful. The communities have been generally pleased with all of the changes that the establishments have made. Most of the problems have been rectified. A Class A7 license can be open from Monday to Sunday, 10 a.m. to midnight, and they may not sell for on-premises, meaning you can't go in and get your beer, you can't get a liquor drink, you can't get a wine at the bar. There is no more bar, it's all packaged goods, but it's 10 a.m. to 12 midnight. So the stay exists. The stay is going to continue until, I think it's June. Don't hold me to that, but at least until the end of the General Assembly session, because the goal of the judge's order was for the local leaders to have the opportunity to decide if they wanted to agree to what the Attorney General and the attorney for the licensee had agreed to in principle. The bottom line is in the meantime, the board is ordered by the judge to treat this licensee until that expires as if they were an A7, meaning Frederick Station Saloon, if you see anybody in there drinking, let us know, because they're not allowed to do that. They are to be treated as if they were an A7. They're allowed to be open until midnight, 7 days a week, and they can sell for off-premises consumption only, meaning beer, wine, liquor to go, nothing else. They must actually also have security cameras that are fully functional. They have to be high-definition cameras, and they have to be trained in the front for security purposes, being able to capture, with good visibility, any person entering and exiting. That's one of the requirements in an A7. So that is where we stand. I know it's super confusing, and I've talked for a long time already, and I apologize for that. I try to be brief, but it's election day, and I'm tired, and I might have had a beer on the way here. So with that said, Ms. Dorothy, I know you have specific concerns, and I'm happy to answer any specific follow-up questions, some hypothetical questions, whatever you have for us.
So if the community decide that we wanted to go back to 9, what will we have to do?
If the community is not pleased with the result, so the community has no say in the order as I'm sure you understand. So that's between the judge, the attorney general, and the lawyer for the licensee. If the community does not like the idea of that they don't want to accept 10 a.m. to 12 midnight, they can pressure their elected officials to not accept that. I don't know, I can't speak for the delegates, the senator, the councilman, other than they're all excellent representatives for the community from my perspective. But I will say that the lawyers did advise that it may not be, I can't get into the specifics of what they have said. The risk of doing that would be if a judge found that law to be unconstitutional, they go back to 6 a.m. to 2 a.m. 7 days a week. So it's a risk involved. And if they were to find that, it's also possible the entire citywide, you're as you are aware, you're not the only place in the city where there are specific hours of closing. That might jeopardize every other early closure. But again, I'm not the lawyer for that. I just am imagining I was if I was the attorney general. But there's risk involved. So that's for the community to consider. I just want to be upfront about it. So, but those are your considerations. And I think no matter what happens, you're definitely going to need to give input, and the final decision is going to be made from the elected representatives because it's their choice. We just enforce the law. Thank you, ma'am.
Anybody have any questions, concerns?
You don't want me here again, so.
So the conversation was we're talking about Irvington Saloon.
No, Frederick Station. Irvington's across the street, and that is a Class A, and they got to be closed by midnight, right?
It was closing at one point in time at 9 o'clock. Well, originally it was closed at 2, but the legislators introduced a bill for them to close at 9. So their attorneys went to a judge, and it's now going to close at 12 instead of 9 o'clock, that it was doing at first. It's a bar.
Presently, what the judge ordered us to do, it's now a liquor store. It is no longer, and that's what is important to us, because just like their lawyer wants us to uphold our order from the judge, we, of course, are going to make sure that they uphold their end of the order from the judge, which is if you see anybody sitting in there drinking, that is not what they're allowed to do. Please let us know. Please let Matt know. Put a 311 in. Text Mr. Page, text me, whoever. We will make sure that they're held accountable for that because they're not allowed to do that according to the order. Correct. Well, out front's always illegal. You're not allowed to drink in public. And always put a 311 in for that because people are supposed to, liquor license holders are supposed to, according to our rules, take care that no one loiters in front of their premises drinking alcohol or selling drugs or doing any illicit or unlawful activity. But specifically, if they're drinking a bar inside, or I'm sorry, drinking a beer at a bar inside, drinking a cocktail at a bar inside, that is no longer allowed according to the judge.
Father Mike, do anybody have any questions? Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Dorothy, and board members and everybody. Today is my anniversary, but it's okay. My wife said it's too important to come. You're the lawyer. You can't leave Matt out there. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
2-month-old, too.
All right, we're going to move right along. Bull Development, you're up.
All right, what I got to put it close. Everybody can hear me? Okay, how you doing? I'm Winfield Willis II of Bull Development. I know, I don't know if anybody's heard this before, but we have purchased 2 sites in Irvington. One is at 4503 Frederick Avenue, located right next to Beachfield. The other one is next to the Family Dollar at 3422 Frederick Avenue. So just a quick background, if you haven't heard before, on us. We are a local real estate development company located not too far from here, Howard Park. And we have owned these sites for about, I would say about 2 years, going on 2 years now. So I wanted to come and give an update as well as to answer any questions about what's going on with those particular sites. The first one I want to talk to, which is the one that I came today about, is for 4503 Frederick Avenue. So what we are planning to put there currently and what we are in the process of designing and developing is a multifamily building, which is apartments that are about 53 units. And I'll actually have like a map in the car as well that I can go get before I leave to hand out to everybody so everybody's familiar with the site after I explain it, so it's not just me up here trying to paint a picture. But 53 units with 59 parking spaces that will have a parking garage that will be underneath the building. As far as amenities, as far as the height, it would be about 35 feet high. But in the front, it would be about 3 stories. So no different than any of the normal houses that you see or townhouses that you see that are 2 or 3 stories. Also, we will have a gym, as well as there will be a space that is open to everyone in Irvington, in the community, that we will have programs, whether it be youth and adult. And I can explain our mission a little bit more after I explain this, the actual site. So we also have, it's about 2 acres, so we have an acre and a quarter of land that would not be used. So we are planning to use it to create an urban farm or food forest that will have fruits, vegetables. We want to have apple trees, pear trees, like all different things that can be utilized and actually brought to the community and that people can have access to, not only for learning, whether it be becoming a master gardener or learn how to farm or do things on your own, but also to have events to bring people together and to teach our youth, more importantly, so they're not out here killing each other. So I think that's one of the keys of just creating not only housing, but holistically something that can help the youth, the people that live there, that can help the community at large. And as far as the type of housing it would not be affordable housing. It would be essentially workforce housing. I can explain that term in a second, and market rate housing. So our goal is to have mixed income buildings, not just bring like, oh, we're gonna do all low income or all this. So our job is to make sure that we can bring people of every walk of life in, to make sure that, like, especially important for me, because a lot of my family members are nurses, firefighters, and police officers, that we can have them to have affordable place to live in this city so they can help protect our community and serve our community like they've been doing in their professional careers. So workforce housing technically is a technical term that we use to say, essentially, if the medium income of a household was 100,000, we like to be at 80%, which means people that make 80,000, right? So that's really the term. It's just where you put people on a percentage basis of what Baltimore City's medium household income is, which is 116,000, which, if I'm correct, from my memory. So it would be people that are essentially from, you know, 60,000 to 80,000, but that we have a mandate that we have to do half the building, based on our deed. That has to be half the building has to be at that level, 60,000 to about $80,000 or $90,000. Half the building has to be filled with that. So usually that's our firefighters, our doctors, things like that. So I don't know if anybody. Oh, so just to go into our mission, Bull Development's mission, it's simple. We have about 6 projects throughout the west side of Baltimore right now, and they're all in communities of color as well as in neighborhoods that haven't seen development in usually over 50 years, right? So other than Irvington Muse, which is a senior building, I don't think Irvington has seen any non-Baltimore City private development coming. So we do that from here to Franklin Square, Union Square to Park Heights, and hopefully soon where I grew up in Howard Park, over there on Liberty Heights and Garrison eventually. So, but our mission is really just to bring things holistically, not only housing, retail, but things that people actually need. And really, if you can, please tell me what you need as well, so I can put that in my mind, so we can figure out how we can add that and use the economics of that building to serve you guys best, as well as the residents that will be living there. So I don't know if anybody has any questions about anything I've said, but nothing's off limits for me. You can be as candid as possible. My first community meeting 4 years ago, people were yelling at me. So if y'all want to yell, go ahead, do your thing. I have no problem with it. So this is at 503 Frederick Avenue, so it's about 4 blocks up. So if you go past Mount St. Joe, on your left, if you go on Frederick Avenue this way, on your left you'll see Mount St. Joe. On your right you'll see Irvington Muse. If you go up 2 blocks, it's a white house that's old, that's on the left, and it used to be used as a lumber yard. So you'll see like a small driveway and then another driveway. So it's about 2.5 minutes from here, and 3422 is right next to the Family Dollar. It's an old vacant building that's 3 stories, that's detached, right across the street from the laundromat. It's Winfield Willis, and if you want to call, text me, is this still working? Okay. You can reach me at 410-979-8112. Please text me before you call with your name, and if you have any questions, or you can just text me your questions. I'm always willing to answer. It's probably quicker than emailing me because I get a lot of emails every day. I do in the car, and I can go get that and give everybody a card, as well as I have the actual, really what the site looks like, what the building kind of looks like as well. We're in the process of designing it and should have our, first preliminary design next week, and hopefully next month I can come back and present that to everybody and get people's feedback. I think it's really important to get people what people see, because I'm not going to live in the building, but I will see it every day driving down Frederick Avenue, and so will you. So we always want to see if we can get ideas from people so that you can know, I look at buildings as how does it make you feel? How does it make you feel as a neighborhood? How does it make you feel as a person? Does it make you feel better, or does it make you feel worse? We've seen buildings that make us feel worse, and we've seen ones that make us feel better. So for me, I want to make sure that we're back here and making sure everybody likes the design and things like that, and give a little bit of feedback on what we're doing. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, so it's right in between. So if you're at Beachville Elementary, right on Frederick Avenue, and you go past, what is that? That's not Uplands Parkway. You go past that, and you're coming this way. I'm coming this way, where we are now. It will be on your right. You will see a old white house. It's very, I would say, hidden. Well, it's not. Yeah, it's not hard, it's in between the lights, right, but it's 3 houses away from Beachfield. So if you're at the elementary school, you walk up 3 houses, it'll be the 4th lot right there, the 4th house, and it's really wide. Past Beachville. Yep. 4 houses up, and that's the house. So you'll see it's a white house. It should have a blue trash can unless somebody took our trash can. It should have a blue trash can in front of it, and it have a driveway in the middle. Yeah. So it's hard to visualize, but it's right there. And then the other one, 3422, is right next to the Family Dollar. What, next to the Family Dollar? Wait, when you drive and you see the Family Dollar, you'll see on the corner over here on the Family Dollar is the Family Dollar. Our property's on the corner, and then there's the church right across the street, and then the laundromat is across the street from, on Frederick Avenue.
I'll take you tomorrow.
No, please go by, write the addresses down. Please go by it. And the 3422 Frederick Avenue, we'll be in the process to design that at the end of. Hold on. That's right down the street by the Family Dollar. That's the one by the Family. Yep. And we should plan 4503 Frederick Avenue by Beachfield. We plan on beginning construction in June. That's our tentative date, and to have it complete by, I would say, April or May of 2024. So this is not tomorrow, right? We're still in early phases of designing, gathering our finance for construction, but we should have our permit by June, God willing. Do you have any other questions? Okay, thank you. Oh. Oh, you gonna take care of that? I would say
So that's out of his scope, but they're in the process of building more townhomes up there. And the side that's facing Emerson Avenue will be retail, so they'll be bringing stores as well on that front side. But they're in the process of building more houses up there. If you notice, they're up there working now. It'll start clearing off the lot. So they're about to build more homes up there. So that's what they're doing now.
the only thing I do know is they did just receive funding. So that's was a city project. Like, we don't operate in that type of environment in a sense. We operate where we see a need in our community. If there's land available or a landowner that wants to sell, we want to make sure that we're communicating with them, because I think a lot of times what happens is that, like, I'm from here, so I can come and I understand what's going on, but as people who come in, they don't understand it. Sometimes they hold our areas hostage, and I look at it as my job and my calling to prevent that from happening, and to allow for communities like Irvington in particular to grow and breathe new life. Because if it's been 50, 60 years since a new building has been built and nobody's coming to do it, somebody has to do something. And my father couldn't be here tonight because he was having a class, but he can speak, better than that. He's 75 years old, so he's seen a lot. But I got the energy, so I take them, we take my energy, and then we try to get it done. No problem. Thank you. And I will go get my card, and I'll pass it out, as well as the drawings and everything, so you guys can have it. If Ms. Dorothy has my contact information, but I do appreciate you guys allowing me to come. And then after I do that, I have to get to a basketball game so I can win a championship.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, Blue Water.
Good evening, everybody. My name is John Mara. I'm here on behalf of Blue Water Baltimore. We've been working in Irvington with y'all since spring of last year. We started putting in some trees back in the spring. We continued the project this fall with 124 trees planted. 26 still to be planted. We ran into a few issues with the citywide tree order had issues at the city level, so a bunch of organizations didn't get all their trees in time. Also, we had some neighbors that turned down the trees. I'm looking specifically for feedback from anybody here or anybody who's watching or listening on Facebook. If you have any feedback about the project so far, any feedback about our outreach efforts, we did some door knocking, we put out some door hangers, and I think some mailers went out as well. But we're just trying to gauge how well our efforts are doing with letting everybody know about the project ahead of time. And if you have any requests on if you want to change your tree that's in front of your home, if you want to request a tree, we can come out and see if it's possible to put one in front of your home. I think that about covers everything. It's a very short update. We'll still be in the neighborhood to get those last 26 trees in the next couple of weeks.
So where are you planting the last 26?
I don't know off the top of my head. We're still looking for locations because some of those were some homeowners did not want them. So we're going to try to stick to. We also ran into an area where Miss Utility, when they finally came out and marked everything, all the utilities were all together in one strip, so there was just no way we were going to even attempt to plant over that. So we have to do a little bit more ground truthing and walking around to figure out where we're going to go next. I'm sure Patrick or Darren will be in contact with you about those specifics. They did not give me that info going into this meeting about that. But does anybody have any questions or have any feedback about the, yes? Yes. So the tree's in front of your home, but your neighbors don't want it? Oh, it's in your neighbor's home and they don't want it. Okay. So the birds would be a problem in terms of like, they'll eat the berries of the tree, but that's beneficial for the local species. It's not just about the. That's fair. I mean, I don't know what to say. Dirt and leaves and stuff like that come in the house all the time. But I understand the concern of not wanting to have extra stuff. So I can talk to you afterwards, and I can get your address. Sure. Well, it's the time of year. It's the time of year. The leaves have fallen off, and the berries are in season for the migrating birds. But if your neighbor doesn't want the tree, but you say you do want a tree, but you don't want a tree at all. Okay, so I'll fair enough. Okay, I think I have my card in the car, and I can give you. I think I have my card in the car, and I can go get that for you. Otherwise, I can just give you some information to pass to him, and he can call us about the tree.
Well, before they planted the tree, the neighbor had to give them permission. Like you call me, say, I don't want a tree. That neighbor did not call and say, they didn't want a tree, so they have to get. Well, they should have said, I don't want a tree, but they gave them permission to plant that tree. Right.
Okay. Yep.
Switch out maybe for another kind.
We can. Yeah. You can. If he contacts us, we can figure out about switching out a tree. Sure. Well, they'll all have leaves. It's just that it's. Sure. Okay. Anybody else have any comments or questions or anything?
I don't have a comment, but the last round I got a tree for our memorial garden, but the tree is dead. Could I get a replacement?
Absolutely. I will write that down as well. Tree Memorial Garden, and I'll see if I can find a card in my car for you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
So our last guest must be outside, so I'm going to guide her in. If y'all have, till I come back.
No, I'm not. I'm loving this weather. Okay, hey, John. My comment is, I like the trees. I noticed there were some on our block on Collins that got planted. Lovely.
Yeah, your block on Collins, we actually, that was one of the spots where we didn't get the trees that we had initially wanted because of the screw up on the county,
yeah.
on the whole tree order. So there were red buds put in instead of service berries. I know you all wanted like edible, like trees. That
Oh, I didn't know that. We have a service berry. We planted a service berry.
Oh, great.
Maybe. Maybe not. Oh, yeah, nice. Oh, my gosh, no kidding. Thank you. Oh, my gosh. Oh, this is the thing. Oh, thanks. Yeah, he does. It looks good. So nice. That's a great, oh, look at Gina. Oh, there's the.
You on?
Goodness. Hello, hello. My name is Golly Thomas, and what I'm doing here, talking about Turnaround Tuesday. Okay. Oh, yes. Hi, my name is Golly Thomas, and I am the outreach specialist for Turnaround Tuesday. Turnaround Tuesday, we are located at Bastille Meadows every Tuesday between 1 and 3. What we do is to prepare, train, and connect returning, underemployed citizens to living wage jobs and build a vibrant public life for themselves. So, I just ran out there. Truly apologize. But yeah. So I've been with Turnaround Tuesday for 7.5 years. I'm also a citizen to society. I got with Turnaround Tuesday in 2014. They gave me a job in 2015 at Johns Hospital. So I stayed with Johns Hopkins for 7 years, and I worked as a housekeeper. From housekeeping, I did unit associate. From unit associate, I did peer recovery. From peer recovery, I did a hospital responder job. So I moved around in the hospital because of the opportunities and the relationships that we had with Hopkins. So if you have any family members, any friends that need, we are there at Steel Meadows, 5110 Frederick Avenue, every Tuesday at 1 o'clock. Every Tuesday. And we do a lot as far as breaking the barriers. You know, people always say they have records and they can't do this or they don't have their GED. We partnership with people like that. We partnership with legal aid to help get your record expunged. We partner with the GED people to help you get your GED, you know, because I do tell you they want you to have a high school diploma or GED. But in the meantime, you don't have a GED, we put you in class, so that still gives you an opportunity to get a job because you're in class to get your GED. You know, so I'm here to let y'all know that we are here in the community to help put Baltimore back together as a working force. So do anyone have any questions?
Turnaround Tuesday has contract with Hopkins.
Yeah, we partnership.
And who else?
Oh.
They will employ a certain amount of people.
We have limits. We try to get everyone a job. So we partnership with 3 Tech Staffing, Blueprint Robotics, Broadway Services, Dream Management, Express Pro, Johns Hopkins Hospital, MedStar Health, Natural Concerns Landscaping, Nellie Fresh, Life Bridge Health, Sinai Hospital, University of Maryland.
So these companies will hire the employees that come through your program.
Absolutely, absolutely. And regardless if they have a record or not, they still will. No, we don't. I don't know that we know. No, we just partnership and have those type of relationships. You know, we are someone that, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Bill, but we come from Bill. You know, so one thing about Bill, you know, they teach us how to have relationship with people. And it's not a tax credit, I don't believe that's so. But yeah, but we just build relationship with people so we can get these people jobs with no excuse, no, you know, no problem. But yes, if y'all know anyone, you have the flyer, tell them come join us. I know because I used to be a participant before I was a staff member. And like I said, I'm a returning citizen. And I came home to nothing 9 years ago. And since I've been with Turnaround Tuesday, I have my own home. I have a pretty decent job, you know, that I can just continue to with my grandkids and my kids, you know. So yeah, they gave me my life back through the grace of God. So yes, and I thank y'all.
Any questions for Ms. Thomas? Well, thank you so much that you made it in time.
Yes.
I know you was rushing, but I'm
Yes.
glad you made it.
Yeah, because I had to go out and vote. Plus, I had to work today, and you know, so and I had to come all the way back across town.
Father Mike, do anybody have any questions?
Yeah, I thank you. I thanks for the invite.
You're welcome. You can have a seat. I'll talk to you when we
Yes.
over. So, the meeting is almost over. So, on Saturday the 19th, yes, sir. I reported the issue to the major, but when they're there, you need to call the police because they'll come out right away because they don't know, you know, which time of day they're there. So when you see them there, you just do the 911. You can take pictures and email them to me and text them to me, and I'll make sure the major gets them. Yeah, I'll get you. So I'll work on that problem. Yeah. I don't have anything to do with it. Transportation did it, but if you notice, they're all over the city like that. It's supposed to be a traffic calming solution, but it's really not. So, yeah, they're all over the city like that. I know. So, that ain't nothing I can do about that. Yes. So anyway, November the 19th, which is next Saturday, we'll be having a community Thanksgiving dinner. We will need volunteers. The dinner will start at 12 noon. So if you plan on volunteering, try to get there by 10:30. The address is 4113 Frederick Avenue. And it's at the Emerge building. It's the new building that sits right next to where our center used to be. The building is called Emerge. And the dinner will be held there. So spread the word. We'll be emailing everybody flyers. So please leave me your email address so you can get that flyer. I'm sure it's a lot of folks that probably will not have a Thanksgiving dinner. So we're going to provide them one. It's going to be before Thanksgiving, but they still will get a dinner. It won't be a sit-down dinner because of COVID, so they'll get carry-out trays, you know, and it'll be everything, the turkey, the yams, the greens. They'll get a full meal plus dessert. They just won't get the opportunity to sit in and eat it, and they can just it'll be takeout. So we do need volunteers. 12 to 2 or 12 until all the food is gone. I was fortunate enough, my son's job gave me a $1,500 grant so we can feed the needy. Yeah. Hi, Douglas, how are you? This is Mr. Douglas Page. He also works for the liquor board. That's my go-to person. When these bars acting crazy, I'll call Douglas 1 o'clock in the morning. I look the bar down here open, ain't got no business being open. And he will send his inspectors out, so thank you so much. It's good to build those type of relationships where you can just call folks any time of the night. Yes. Anybody have any concerns? I know the police is not here tonight because of elections, but if you have any police issues, just leave them with me, and I'll make sure they get them. So everybody good? Nobody had no concerns. We had no trash concern. We had no police concern. Go ahead, Mr. Kai. Well, they got 3 areas that will be rented out, because if you notice, after the beauty stores, there's 3 more areas. They will not tell us what's coming there until the contract for those areas are signed. So I don't know yet.
If you have not signed the sign-in sheet, please do so. Also, the paper's here from Turnaround Tuesday. If anybody wants one who didn't get one, feel free to pass it on to a friend. Or
So, I mean, even though it's out of my area, I guess everybody has seen the condition of the Irvington Village Shopping Center, which is deplorable. So, but it's a company from Cleveland.